And she said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you should not eat of it. Now, this is where they say she added to it and said, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. But she has some information here. And the serpent said unto the woman, notice what happens. This woman is talking to the snake, and the snake is talking to the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. For God doth know in the day that you eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened. You shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat. Here's the part. I really got into this study last night and today. This little phrase right here. And gave also to her husband, which was with her. Now, there's a whole lot in that. There's a lot in that. And he did eat. And what you see right here is the original sin. This is the original sin. What it was a role reversal. What happens here is exactly what Satan done then is what he's doing now. He's switching the roles of a man and the role of a woman. And we see this with what's happening now, all this stupid, perverted pronoun usage. Do you know what I'm talking about? You call me they, them, and we, not she. Which makes perfect sense, because when Jesus was casting out the devil, he said, what is your name? He said, my name is Legion, because we are many. So these pronoun people that say we're we know why you we, because there's several devils in there. And that's they and them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about divine order. Divine order. And this is what the devil is manipulating. This is what he is messing with right now. The authority structure of God, how it works in the family and works in the man, it has been, and I'm just going to talk very plain with y'all, because y'all know me by now. You know me by now. I preach with no agenda except souls. That's it. I jokingly told Pastor Scylla and Pastor Woods Thursday night during my live stream, I said, people that accuse me of preaching for money, if they could see my bank account, they'd say, you're doing a bad job. Because I'm not preaching for money, I'm preaching for souls. I count souls. This is what the devil is doing, and this is what he has done to many of you in the African American community, is take the daddy out of the house. If he can get the authority figure out of the house, then he will raise up young men. And this is how you find men that are mad and angry, because they like, ain't no man gonna tell me what to do, because my own daddy wasn't there to tell me what to do, so who you to come tell me what to do? This is what the devil does. This is his game. And so I want to read an excerpt from a book entitled The Emasculation of Men in America. The Emasculation of Men in America. It's by William Bray. You should read it. Listen what he says. This is powerful stuff. I don't know what his belief system is, how much of a Christian he is, but I know his theology is correct. He said, a war is being waged in American society in an effort to strip males of their manhood. It is being waged by a number of repressive forces, but is most notably resulting from excessive force being used by radical feminists to serve the cause of what they call women's rights. Now listen to this. And I'd like to pause and say there is no women's rights if men don't go to war. That's how come women got rights, is because men helped them get the rights. But he said, while most agree that such a cause is just and it is needed, he said it should not be necessary to step on men and then kick them in order to raise the cause of women's rights to new heights. In this process, Feminist writers are rewriting historical accounts of ancient Greece and Rome, writing plays and making films showing males in passive, subservient roles. Listen to me when I talk about Hollywood. Even attempting to rewrite the Bible, suggesting that Jesus had a wife and Jesus had a family. That's all pure fabrication. To serve the agenda that of feminists whose goal may be to reduce Jesus to some kind of a Dagwood Bumstead cartoon character where Blondie, the wife, always gets credit for holding everything together, because anytime you see a movie in Hollywood, the man is always some kind of dumb idiot. And if they have a priest or a preacher, he's always demonic, because the devil is always trying to take the real authority figure who is the preacher and the man of God, demonize him and make men look like, they're Fred Flintstone. They always messing up, and Wilma's got to come to the rescue. The emasculation of men in America is attended and should be a wake-up call for all men. What I'm saying to you is this, is when God created Adam and Eve, God reached into the man and pulled out the rib and created a woman, and he said, a woman come out of man. That's why he named her such, meaning God took the woman out of the man, which means there should be no sissy in you, because God got it all out. God took all of the femininity out of you. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to say some things that it's going to be very easy, because I'm not preaching tonight. I'm just talking to you as men. And I'm glad there's some women here to kind of hold me in check, but I'm going to speak real bold to these men. I don't plan on cussing, but I'm going to get close. Because what Satan is trying to do is put femininity back into men. And look at how men are walking and talking and acting and dressing. I mean, I don't know about you, and I'm kind of prophetic. I get to Starbucks and I have to say, is this a man or is this a woman? I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And in my opinion, it's like this: if I have to question, you're already a woman. Because you're already feminized by the fact that I can't figure out what it is. And there's a reason why the enemy is attempting to feminize men. Here's why. Because your Bible says, this is 1 Corinthians 11:3, he said, but I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ. The head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. This is called divine order. This is why America, if we don't get this together, is going to be completely overthrown. I'm telling you. If this order of he gives it to you in a very unique way, but what he just said is that basically it's like this: the head of the woman is the man. The head of the man is Christ. The head of Christ is God. And that's the way authority structure flows. And if this gets disturbed, if you get this out of kilter, it throws all creation off balance. And opens the door for demonic forces to come into your country, to come into your church, to come into your ministry, to come into your marriage, and to come into your home. And so if you want your home, your ministry, your church, whatever to be strong, your marriage has to be operating in divine order. Now let me say it to you like this. God never told us as men to make our wives submit. True biblical submission is one of the most perverted things talked about in the Pentecostal ranks. The Bible never said for a pastor to preach, submit to me. It ain't in there. The Bible never said, and this is why you have a great pastor. Do you know you have a real shepherd here? Because this is the way biblical submission works. This is why I'm not an advocate for divorce, but I mean, if I was a woman, and I ain't a woman. You hear my voice, I'm not a woman. If I really talk, this is how I really talk, like this. I had to get up in another octave so y'all can understand me. I'm a black man trapped in a white man's body. If I was a woman, and ain't no way I'd be married to some of these rascals who gonna dominate me and make me submit. You're not told as husbands to make your wives submit. It's the opposite. Watch how God did it. God told the wife to submit herself to the husband. So as a husband, he didn't tell me, submit to me, wife. That's not what he said do. He was not talking to me when he said it. He spoke to my wife, and he told my wife, listen to him. In other words, all I got to do is what I'm supposed to do. If she don't do it, she's in trouble with God, not with me. Most of you are trying to huff and puff and cuss and tell your wife, but I'm the head, I'm the this, I'm the that. And she ain't listening to you because she knows you're out of your place. Because if you're not submitted to Christ, how can your wife be submitted to you? Now watch. What he told us to do was to love our wives. Young men that are going to get married, I'm going to save you a lot of marriage counseling problems and divorce court money on lawyers, because when they get you in court, you're going to get the bad end of the deal, because this system is set up for the women to win in court. She's going to get your kids, she's going to get your money, going to get your car, going to get your retirement, going to get it all. So you better know when you start out what you're getting involved in. Watch. God told wives, your job, you know what's something? He didn't even tell them they had to love us. He told them they had to submit to us. Ain't that something? But he told us our job is to love our wives. Ain't that amazing? This is something whenever you understand how this works, because in the garden, Adam had dominion over all this earth. And when you understand rank and authority, you understand what the devil can and cannot do, and what he has to do to mess, Erwin, the way the devil has to mess with you. He cannot come through the front door. He's got to come through the back door. Why? Because in the Garden of Eden, Adam had more rank than Satan. When Satan shows up in the garden and he begins to try to mess them up, Adam was so superior to Satan until he couldn't even mess with him. Do you know what Satan said to Adam? Do you know what he said to Adam? You know why you don't know? Because he didn't say nothing to Adam. Because it's like MC Hammer. You can't touch this. He could not mess with Adam, because Adam's rank, I just showed it to you. God, Christ, man, woman. He was outranked. So he was unable to even approach him or mess with him. So what did he do? Satan never speaks to Adam, but what he does do, he goes to Eve. He goes to a woman, and I'll say this for the women that are here, and the men that are here, you need to hear this about women. This is why women are more susceptible to depression. And this is why women are more susceptible to being deceived. It's because they have a frequency that's different than us. And they are able to pick up on what the devil is saying. That's why they're like, he's going to kill us. Oh, the house is going to burn down. Our kids are going to die. That's why women are men. See, we just closed off one direction, stupid. We don't hear truth. Now, sometimes you need to listen to your wife, because your wife is able to tell there's a devil here. Man, let me hit this and tell you. When my wife tells me, hey, that person's a devil, I learn to listen to that woman. Women can spot a devil. The Bible tells you the man don't even know. He walk around dumb. We got it. We got a good garden, got a good thing. And his wife is over here hearing on another level. And the devil is saying, eat this tree, touch this, do this, get a hold of this. Now, listen to me. Because this is what the devil always does. If he can't get to you, sir, he goes to the person who has influence on you. If he can't get you, he's going to go to somebody who is close to you, has access with you, and he will scramble their eggs and get them to come against you if he can. This is the number one thing that's happening in the world right now, is homes divided, and a house divided cannot stand. And some of you, you're like, what's my deal? And the devil will play with your wife's emotions. You have her worried about the money and the bit. Man, we don't care. We're like, we're going to make it because we're tough. We'll live in a ditch. We don't care. Women's like, yeah, but we got kids and we got a house and we got a car and we got bills. See, they're more susceptible to worry about those kind of things. So what I'm trying to show you is that the enemy will try to stir people up around you who are not even, and y'all ladies understand, you got authority in the Holy Ghost, you got authority, but our authority as men and women of God is in our unity. The more your house is divided, the less devils you'll be able to cast out. Now watch what it said. It said, when the woman saw the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and she gave it to her husband also who was with her. Now that means something. Adam was there when this was happening. The Bible said she gave to her husband who was with her. He was with her when this whole thing was going down. Watch this. But he got outside of his place of authority and he starts letting his wife make decisions and deals with the devil, and he's standing right there watching it all play out. Now listen to me. Why didn't Adam say something? I'm not going no farther until we talk back right here. Why don't he say something? He's got a devil here tempting his wife. Why doesn't Adam say, wife, don't you dare eat that. You can't do that. He doesn't say anything, and silence, because of Adam's silence, Satan begins to usurp authority and sin reigns in society. Listen to what I'm telling you. Because a man of authority zipped his lips and wouldn't speak up and say nothing. And that's right where America is. That's right where we're at in society. Men are sitting on the sidelines because, you know, it's like it's a sin to be a man. Now I'm gonna say something. This is why I really didn't want this on here tonight.